the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Nick pushed down the backstretch, is going to give him a good run through the corners.
So a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series live from the Phoenix International Raceway. So glad you're joining us here tonight on JTN. As always, my name is Joe Twansky. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, the one and only Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, welcome back to the Diamond in the Desert.
Joe, we're back here at Phoenix International Raceway. We're going to have a fun time tonight with the HOBO Racing League. These guys always put on a great show at Phoenix. We always had a lot of great races with them here, and I think we're in for another great one tonight.
See, Steve and Ann Rubino both in chat. Howdy and welcome. Glad to see you guys tuning in. Steve, of course, going to be in the race here tonight. Derek Shower in chat as well. Good evening, Derek. Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. We're about ready to watch some great racing, and Phoenix presents unique challenges to these drivers, Ricky, because of two very different sets of corners.
It is a very interesting set of corners at this place. Not really the same setup one way to the other, like a lot of conventional tracks. First turn, a lot more banking to it than the second. First and second turns got a lot more banking to it than the third and fourth turn, which is a much wider sweeping turn. But the in addition to that, we got the old-fashioned dog-leg there, a little left-hand 45-degree angle arc in the middle of the track, hard angle across, running the older Phoenix tonight. So no apron here. That's all grass down there. So these guys are going to have to really make sure that they are minding their P's and Q's for track position out there. You don't want to accidentally hook someone going through that area.
You don't want to hook someone going through that area, in an area that can be quite tricky, as you said, especially with that rumble strip down there that we've seen. Give a couple drivers some issues when they try to get their left sides on it. We're going to go for 94 laps around this 1 mile racetrack here tonight for race 4 of the HOBO Racing Cup Series season. Going to be looking at, probably 2, maybe 3 pit stops here tonight, depending on when those pesky caution flags come out throughout this race, or if they do at all. Overall, though, looking forward to a great night of racing action here on JTN. Of course, as always, presented by our friends at AutoSim 2. Remember, AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. The premier motorsports management simulation style game, AutoSim 2. Go check it out. Available now on Steam. All right, so that's race preview done and out of the way, Ricky. When we look at Phoenix, we talked about the corners. We talked about this version being obviously 2003's edition of the Phoenix International Raceway. International Raceway still at that time as well. The front stretch grandstands with the start-finish line on what's now the back straightaway. That's not going to throw any of these drivers for a loop, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not going to throw us for a loop up here in the booth, is it?
Maybe.
Okay. Cars have finished qualifying. Ricky, take us through tonight's starting lineup.
With pleasure, Joe. For tonight's event here with the HOBO Racing League Phoenix International Raceway, tonight's event will see a starting field of about 27 cars, I think, minus you and me. So it's 27. Unless I'm missing something else. I don't think I am. Nope, I'm not missing anything. 27 cars here tonight. It's a good sized field, and starting on the pole at a time of 25.753 seconds. The old Mac Daddy Keith McLean riding around the 28 car tonight. Second spot, outside spot of the front pole, is the 113 car, Caleb Lingle, at a time of 25.757, only 100ths off of McLean's best time. Third spot goes to the 9 car of Fugate. Fourth position goes to the 31 car. That's going to be piloted by Jeff Stekenis. And Steve Rubino in the 07 will round out the top 5 tonight. Starting in spot number 6 is going to be Matthew Stern in the 4 car. And joining him in that row is going to be car number 4-1 of Josh Boyer, starting in the 7th spot. Steve Grant in the 11 car will be starting from the 8th position. And Herman Reese in the 73 car will be starting from the 9th spot in that Cadillac. Ken Hansen in the 94 car will be rounding out the top 10 tonight. And Jim Glaude in the 72 car will be starting for the 11th position. Eddie Rayleigh in the 112 car. I had to reread that twice because I got twisted with the 11s and the 12s. But in the 112 car will be starting from spot tonight. Wiley King in the 925 car will be starting for the 13th position. Car number 13 of Harry Kogan will be starting for the 14th position. Car number 59 of Sorensen will be starting from the 15th spot. The 136 car of Thunder car will be starting for the 16th position. From 17th is going to be the 25 machine of Mr. Ron Simpson, and Ryan Johnson, the 78 car, will be starting 18th. Rick Castle in the 124 car will be starting from spot number 19. And last car to take a time in qualifying tonight is going to be spot number 20, which goes to the 81 car of Troy Donahue. Rest of the field picked on a random draw from the 21st spot will be the 27 machine of Frank Bombi. Or Bambi? Bombi? What do we say,
Bombi.
Joe? I almost said bomb.
Bombi.
Bombi, that's what it was. I almost said Bambi by accident, my bad. Bombi. Rod Weston in the 19 car will start for the 22nd spot. Mopar in the 24 machine will be starting 23rd, and Maverick in the 23 machine will be starting 24th, just to make that confusing. Randy Smith in the 10 car will be starting for the 25th position. Spot number 26 goes to the 46 car of Bob Gibson, and rounding out the field here tonight for the HOBO Cup Series race at Phoenix will be the 5 car of Mr. Joe Peacher, starting from the 27th position. That's going to be our starting lineup for tonight's race, Joe. Good-sized field for Phoenix. Phoenix, not a place that you really think about moving through the field quickly here. Track position going to be at a premium tonight, and I think a lot of these guys out here are going to have to be planning for that.
Yeah, so I'll shoot over 2/3 of the field. Go ahead and put down a qualifying time, which is not always a common occurrence in any of the leagues where we take part of broadcasting in, so you can see the emphasis that these drivers and teams have put on getting that track position early on. And it's going to be a struggle for some of these guys starting out back like this 5 car, Joe Peacher, starting shotgun on the field back there in the 27th position based on random draw. Couple drivers, a couple other things to note here. Of course, Phoenix is going to be the season finale race in November. We're currently slated to be covering that one, should all things go well here. So make sure you stay tuned and stay up to date with the HOBO Racing League and HOBO Racing Cup Series by visiting their web page, hoboracing.com. Derek asks in chat, this is the Bullring Gen 6 2015 mod. The 2015 Gen 6 mod. The folks over at Bullring. I got a lot of these guys, though. They're running some Camaro templates. There's a couple Cadillacs, a couple Pontiacs. Always love seeing the spread here at HOBO. Greg's back in chat, too, as well, to root on the Team Speedland cards. Welcome back, Greg. Glad to see you. Again, we're just a couple minutes away from green flag racing action here from the Phoenix International Raceway. PIR. PIR. How would you pronounce that, Ricky?
Pure.
Interesting.
Is that not how you would say it, Joe?
No, I don't know how to say it, so that's why I asked you, so I'm glad you told me. Made like a BB sound coming out your mouth. So guys, Mopar in the 24, Matt Stern, Rick Castle all getting some practice coming down pit lane. Cars being put on the grid here on pit lane as we await the command to get engines fired here from Phoenix.
To your cars.
Packed house here once again. A bunch of folks tuning in. Make sure you say hello. Always like getting to talk with everyone during the race as we await the command to get engines fired here from Phoenix.
Drivers, start your engines!
As you hear the command, and 27 drivers roll off the grid as we await the first lap here from the Phoenix International Raceway in race 4 of the 2023 HOBO Racing Cup Series season. It's going to be Keith McLean leading us to green in the number 28 after posting a time of 25.753 seconds. Outside will be Caleb Lingle in the 113, looking for that first win on the season. They've been oh so close with that team. Multiple podiums at this point. Going to look for a victory here tonight. Fugate in the 9 and Jeff Stekenis in the 31. Going to roll off on row number 2. Teammates there in their Dodge Chargers, bringing a lot of speed to the desert. Steve Rubino rounding out your top 5 in the 07, with Matt Stern in the 4 to his outside on row 3. Row 4, the 41 of Josh Boyer, who was your Daytona winner 3 weeks ago, and the 11 of Steve Grant. And rounding out your top 10 tonight going to be the 73 of Herman Reese, and the 94 of one of last year's Final Four competitors, Ken Hansen. Dodge Charger safety car makes the left turn down the pit lane, gives way to the Ford Fusion of Keith McLean. Green flag, and we're underway here from Phoenix.
Keith McLean gets a good jump there coming off turn 2. Gets him on by the 113 car of Lingle. Lingle now having to play the offensive. We heard that term at Phoenix this week, Joe, but this is a different version of Phoenix, a different definition of offensive, I guess, because a lot less room to race around here for the 113 car, Caleb Lingle.
Tires still uber important here at this version of Phoenix as well, so how these drivers kind of navigate these opening laps, try to keep the good years underneath them, gonna be another thing to watch. You see everyone nice and orderly off of turn number 2, almost a big moment there for Ken Hansen in the 94. Loud in the 72 was able to get on by. 94 now going to be able to try to get down in line in front of Wiley King.
When settling in, catching their groove here early on in this race, it's something to keep an eye out for, is that how these cars handle on cold tires.
And Cody Ann looking to the inside, the 72 at Gloud. Battle for the 10th position, give Cody Ann that spot as the caution's out for the first time tonight.
There's a 27 car Bombi Joe just around in turn 3. Looks like he had some help. He went for a long slide here, got loose in the middle of the corner in the 46. Bob Gibson, nowhere to go, just kind of gets into the back of the 27, sends him around. Pretty flush hit with the wall, though, Joe. I don't see any real damage on that Budweiser machine.
I get a replay of it there. Good looking number 27.
Handsome looking car. Can't go wrong with a black and red Budweiser car.
So field under caution here for the first time tonight, working lap number. Looks like we've lost our cameras. That is wonderful. While we're under caution, let's get a word from our friends with AutoSim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear because AutoSim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim 2's Sim mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. And we're back here on JTN. Again, apologies, folks. Running into some technical difficulties here early on. Just getting things situated for you. Still under caution, though, from Phoenix. Our first caution of the night. Ricky, we haven't gotten the one to go yet, have we?
We have not. Nope.
All right. Ricky, got to keep you updated on what's happening on the track. But again, AutoSim 2, now available on Steam. Go check it out. A great text-based motorsports simulator game. It's AutoSim 2. Find it now, again, on the Steam store for $9.99 USD. AutoSim 2, now available on Steam. Gotta love these technical difficulties. Oh, I love them, Ricky. You love them?
You know, I love tactical difficulties. I'm an engineer, Joe.
What they pay you for?
This is what they pay. That's what they pay me for.
Okay. So getting things situated.
Sorry, I tried to do the voice more and accidentally bit on my lip weird and scrambled my words.
Nice.
How now, brown cow?
Ricky is the constant professional here on JTN, let me tell you. All right. Getting things situated back for you. Not going to miss a second of racing. And we'll go back. Green flag racing this time by at the line. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for sticking with us there. Keith McLean, your current race leader. Correction, only a 90-lap race tonight. Only a 90-lap race tonight. Looks like we're issues with our pylon.
Doesn't look
Nonetheless,
pile on, Joe. Looks like it's pile off. Coming back to green, Keith McLean leading in the 28 car. Going to be waiting on that flag, and there it is. Green back in the air. We are back running here at Phoenix.
we're lap number 9 of 90 here from the desert. Keith McLean with a good restart in the number 28. Gets ahead of Caleb Lingle. Single file here off of turn number 2. Everyone minding their manners.
Minding their P's and Q's. Joe, early on here, these cold tires are really brutal, so you kind of have to tiptoe around here that first lap. Rich Castle didn't get the memo, though. Looking to the outside, Josh Boyer there in 3 and 4. Boyer gets on by, pulls away on him, so now things start to single file out. The first battle on track is the 24 of Mopar battling the 112 and 10 who are getting on by him, and now the 19 of Weston getting on by.
I saw Mopar have a big moment down there in 3 and 4 contact.
Weston almost gets into the outside wall there, hangs onto it. Great job by the 19 car to exercise good car control.
Single file throughout the rest of the field. Everyone, again, being nice with each other for the time being. Turn our attention back to the front as Keith McLean leads the way in the number 28 car.
He's doing a great job of hanging on here. In the second, Caleb Lingle looked like he got the apron just a little bit. Joe, that car washed up the track some. Looked like he lost a little ground to the 28 of McLean. So these two still fighting for position. A little further back, though, Ken Hansen starting to battle with the 72 car. The 925 Wiley King just had Duke Sorensen look to the inside on turn 1. Sorensen couldn't make the move there, though, so he falls back in line.
I got a cluster right here in the 11th, or 10th through 15th place positions.
The 72 car goes wide. That's going to let the 94 Hansen to the inside there, side by side, coming down the front straightaway.
Into turn 1, Hansen on the bottom and the number 94, Gloud and the 72 to the outside. They're still going to be side by side here off of corner number 2. Who gets the run down the back stretch through the dog leg? Hansen with the preferred line gets the nose of his Fusion out in front, but still going to be side by side down to 3 and 4, Ricky.
Loud losing a lot of spots on that top side right now. 2 right there, and then Duke Sorensen was sizing up for the next one, but Sorensen couldn't get past him just yet. 59, you see him, he throws it in that turn pretty deep. A little further up front, Joe, Matthew Stern and the 11th Steve Grant side by side for 7th position, or 6th position. Grant gets on by, Herman Reese getting on by the 4 car. 13 underneath the 4 here. Matthew Stern in the non-preferred line here, kind of getting chewed out by a few of these guys.
Yeah, Stern qualified all the way up in 6th. He's now fallen back to 9th after losing those 3 positions. Another thing to note, most of these drivers didn't elect to come down pit lane under that first caution. So again, talked about track position being very important here tonight. No one willing to give it up at the front of the field.
31, Jeff Stekenis getting alongside Fugate. This is for 3rd position. Stekenis side by side with him coming down into turn 1. Put Jeff Stekenis up to spot number 3. And here comes the 07 to Steve Rubino trying to join in on this little dogfight.
Steve having a good run so far here tonight. A good job in that number 07 car. About a 6th of the way, or just over a 6th of the way through this race. Gonna look to the inside of Fugate there for position. Battle for 4th spot. Give it to the 07 this time through turns 1 and 2. And here comes Steve Grant with a big lunge to the inside of the 9. And Fugate is falling back fast.
Like I said, Joe, split pit decisions here. If you guys kind of hanging on to some handling right now, having a few handling woes out here compared to some of these other guys. But right now, the 9 car Fugate just losing a ton of ground. 13 of Harry Kodian get to the inside of the 9 car here, side by side with him coming into turn 1. So that's got to probably put Fugate back to the 8th position if Matthew Stern doesn't come charging up on him. But I think the 9 will kind of stem the bleeding right here. So everyone kind of settles back down. The 113, Caleb Lingo's gotten close to the 28 of Keith McLean here, Joe, as they were coming up on lap traffic.
Lingle closing the gap for the lead. Your 2 leaders, Keith McLean, pole sitter, Caleb Lingle, outside pole sitter. They've run 1-2 this entire race so far. Pretty evenly matched cars right now. Looks like Lingle might be, that 113 car might start to be working it in a little bit here, Ricky.
Yeah, but I think that 113's just maybe just a skosh better right now.
Just a skosh.
You can see he's been kind of just slowly chipping away.
Couple folks since we started tonight that see you come in and chat. Barbara is saying hello. Bino in chat as well. Welcome in, Bino. Hope you're enjoying. I think you're still down there on vacay. Larry in chat as well. Welcome in. Hope everyone's doing great out there on this Tuesday night. Would say we're under the lights, but we're not. So that would be lying. Got a car
Have a fun
slow.
old time watching these guys out here, Joe. Oh, we got it.
caution.
Yeah, you're right. The 81 car. Troy Donahue just stopped down here.
Neither of us noticed it. At Little Caesar's Pizza car, looking like one of
Caution
those.
is out here, Joe, for that car stopped on track.
See, I think he goes kaboom.
I think he does go kaboom. Looks like he says he's out for a header.
So Troy Donahue out of this race, working lap number 24. After the car went kaboom. I think everyone's going to be a taker here on pit lane, Ricky.
Yeah, everyone going to be coming on down. Not everyone. Someone else taking a quick little gamble here, Joe. I think that's Wiley King. Then, no. Wiley King taking a gamble here, staying out.
Comment that the game can't be heard. That's that is weird. Unsure why that's happening. We have been facing some technical issues tonight, folks. Apologize. Keith Clay wins the race off pit road. 72, a Gloud big mover there. Gets off third. Steve Rubino losing a couple spots there on pit lane. All right, let's try to get this fixed for you folks at home real quick. See what we can and can't do. Ricky gonna keep us up to date on everything.
Oh, right now we're just rolling around under caution here, Joe. Rod Weston right now has the lead after all the shuffle. I think Weston might be coming down at some point, but still under caution here with no one to go yet. So we still got a few laps.
Let's... All right, we're going to step away for a second. We're going to try to shut everything off and turn everything back on. We'll be right back here on JTN. All right, back here on JTN. Again, apologies, folks. Let's see. We're going to hope things kind of come back. There we go.
Drivers, to your cars.
How many laps we got here before we go back green, Ricky?
Well, Joe, I can tell you in a second here. It looks like we are getting ready to be 1-2 green here. Yes, we are. Lights are off on the pace car. They're coming out of turn 2 right now. Keith McLean going to be leading them back with Caleb Lingo in second, just to kind of in third. Just waiting here to get back around the joint. They're just coming through the dog leg at the moment, pacing around.
Again, folks, apologies for some of the snafus here tonight. Should have that sound glitch remedied for you at home. I'm going to be missing out on a couple drivers, though, that maybe been knocked out of this race. You won't see their names. Donahue in the 81.
It's just Donahue
It's
right
just
now,
Donahue. All right, so Troy Donahue going to be last here. Name not going to be displayed. Apologies for that. But we get ready to go back. Green flag racing. Keith McLean, pole sitter with control. Green flag. We're back underway here from Phoenix.
Keith McLean gets a good jump on this start here, Joe. Definitely gaps out in the 113 to Caleb Lingo. Everyone kind of just charging down the back straightaway here. Single file, car after car after car after car, thundering down into turn number 3.
Thundering.
Thunder motion.
Everyone playing nice here. Caution. Gonna be out.
Oh,
Big crash.
5,
Never mind. No
19,
one. They weren't playing
27.
nice.
27 is going to retire, Joe.
I think Bombi out of this race. It's like...
Looks like, yeah, Bombi just came into the turn a little too hard on those cold tires. The car stepped out. He tried to save it and bounced off Wiley King there. Rod Weston tried to stop and kind of went for a slide, and then the 5 of Peacher also went for a slide trying to stop it. But 27 definitely got the hardest of that.
Yeah. See what happens with the 19. And the 5. So caution after a lap. No reason to come down pit lane if you're the leaders, right?
No reason right now.
So working our third caution of the night here from Phoenix for an incident down in turn 3 where the 27 of Frank Bombi got loose on corner entry. Ricky, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. We're under caution. I'd like to remind you folks at home, we got some great races coming up here on JTN, starting off with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from the Atlanta Motor Speedway this Thursday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the Fast Renegade Cup Series from Atlanta on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then the Maverick Cup Series makes their season debut with Maverick Night in America once again here on JTN this year. Daytona International Speedway, March 21st, next Tuesday, coverage beginning 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more, of course, live right here only on JTN. To remedy the blurry, if you click that little gear icon in the bottom right, and then click on 1080p and 1080p and then 60, yeah, that should get it fixed back for you. A lot of times, what happens if we have to cut off the air like we did, YouTube likes to default you to 360p, so that'll kind of be your remedy there. Gotta love YouTube. Gotta love YouTube. We're also live over on Twitch. See a couple folks tuning in over there. Welcome, thank you. At JoeTowNetwork on both platforms. Good stuff, Derek. iRacing and watching JTN. That's a pretty good combo.
Very good.
Now, what if you could watch JTN and iRacing? Pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say it is indeed pretty cool.
It's going to go back green flag racing this time by Keith McLean, Caleb Lingle, Jessica Kennis, Steve Grant, Herman Reese, your top 5. Pace car going to come in. McLean with control here for the restart, just over a third of the way through this one.
Green flag, we're back underway here from Phoenix. Good jump on the restart from McLean. He's able to clear by about 2, call it 3 car lengths over Caleb Lingle. Lingle clear by a little bit more over Jeff Stekenis there in third. Rest of the field single file. Everyone trying to work some temperature back into their tires. Caution's out.
Back again. Here, 24, Mopar and the 5 of Peacher. Same spot, Joe, here, right at the entrance of turn 3. This is definitely proving to be a Calamity Corner tonight.
Just because of how flat it is, right?
Yeah, Mopar just comes in here and the car steps out on him. It's just those cold tires. It really kills you early, like in the first 2 laps. I think the 5 of Peacher just spins it. And you might be wondering why they're coming into the turn then spinning. That's how loose these cars are right now. Is that as soon as you get off the throttle and the weight shift happens in that car, you're gone. That's how loose it is early in this run, I think.
What's the remedy? Ricky?
What did you say?
What's the remedy?
I just keeping it under you. You can't really... The problem is, Joe, you can't... It's a tough spot because you can't start tightening up the car because then it's going to be way too tight when the tires warm up. You just have to sort of, hold ground until that happens. The tires start to heat up and get some temperature in them, and then the car changes completely. It does like a complete flip.
Mm.
Yo, you're having a fun old time tonight.
Yep. Packed grandstand. Look at how many grandstands they have around this track. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're never going to tear those down.
No. There's even
The
people
bubble's never going to burst.
No, why would
2003.
Why would the bubble burst?
I don't know why the bubble would burst. I don't know. I don't blow bubbles. Do you blow bubbles, Joe?
I don't.
I don't blow bubbles. The bubble will burst.
Folks, 21 folks currently tuning in. Only 9 likes. What's up with that? Hit that like button. Please, oh please. We appreciate it greatly. Help support us here on JTN. It's always much appreciated. Helps get these videos out and these live stream links out to more and more folks when you click that like button. As always, don't want to ask you to do something you don't want to do, but again, it is much appreciated. It's a great way to help support us here on JTN, as well as making sure you're subscribed to us. Got great NR 2003 live online league racing here weekly on JTN. Going to be live pretty much every Tuesday night through November. I believe we have month of July off at this current time completely, but a lot of great racing action on Tuesdays. Thursdays are booked solid through November as well, so at least 2 nights of racing every week for you here on JTN, so make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled. You hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified when we go live. You won't miss a second of the action. You'll be able to get your racing fill here with us on JTN. Isn't that right, Ricky?
That is right indeed, Joe.
Pace car lights are out. Working our 4th caution of the... or might be 5th. Working another caution here tonight. Keith McLean now going to lead us back to green in the number 28 car. Caleb Lingle, Jeff Stekenis, your top 3. Steve Grant and Herman... Steve Grant and Herman Reese, your top 5. Welcome in, Magoo. Welcome in, Frank, as well. 27 car team not having the night there. We're looking to see, but glad to see driver 27 in chat. Take responsibility for that incident as well. Love to see that. You appreciate that as a racer, right, Ricky?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Keith McLean going to lead us back to green. Dodge Charger pace car makes the left turn down pit lane. Playing with control. Green flag. We're back underway here from Phoenix.
McLean coming down into turn number 1 with the 113 right behind him, but McLean doing a good job of keeping that gap there. All these guys come filtered down single file through the back straightaway, except for Ron Simpson and the 112 car. Rayleigh had a moment there. Rayleigh almost catches the wall there. He's got to be careful. He's going to come into turn 3 a little bit cockeyed, and that car got really loose, Joe.
Does Gibson to the inside off of turn number 4. Gibson now falls back. Got his Team Speedland teammate behind him, and Wiley King in the number 925.
Talking about this, Joe. Bugate looking to the inside of the 4. Matt Stern, nothing just yet for him. A little further back, Ryan Johnson, Duke Sorensen having a good battle here already. But up front right now, Joe, Caleb Lingle keeping that gap close with the 28 of Keith McLean. I don't know if that car's necessarily faster right now, but he's definitely kept that gap up much closer than we've seen on any of these other restarts. Running a slightly different line than McLean. You can see that he jumps into turn 4 higher than the 28 car. Like he's trying to kind of set up to center, to rotate at a different point in that turn. With those really big sweeping turns, that's always kind of the one fun thing about them, is that you can take them a few different ways, and you're not really sure what's going to get you the most momentum. But Caleb Lingle definitely trying a few things out here. Keith McLean looks like he kind of missed the turn there too, Joe.
Is that then just, you talk about being able to kind of take some different lines. Obviously, if you're slow in one line, you might be trying to find another. But does a lot of that, when you're building the setup, start to lean you towards preference of a line, and then you build your setup to be quick in that particular groove?
Yeah, you can kind of set it up to be good in one groove or another if you kind of got a feel for it. As we're talking, though, Harry Cody and jumping on by the 07 Steve Rubino. Rubino just kind of letting Harry on by there on the straightaway. Good etiquette, just trying to save that fight for another day. 124 to the inside of the 9 of Fugate going through the dog leg here, too, a little further back. He's going to take that position. Fugate looks like he's going to drop from 10th down to 12th. So actually the 41 of Boyer also got on by him right before I caught that. This is what I'm talking about, Joe, though. When these tires start to warm up, these guys get a lot racier. They start moving around a lot more. They start trying different lines. They just need those few laps to get things rolling.
Are Colt tires really like racing on ice cubes?
It is, yes. It is very terrifying.
Terrifying. We're just past halfway here from Phoenix. JTN's coverage of the 4th race of the HOBO Racing Cup Series season. Remember, if you want to check out more or get in on the action, you go to hoboracing.com. We also have their website linked down in the video description below. You can keep up to date with everything. Steve and Dan and the entire staff here does a great job of finding a great place for all these guys to race. Know there's a lot of happy drivers down there behind the wheels, knowing they get to race here at HOBO. The one with the biggest smile on his face, though, is our race leader, Keith McLean, in the 28. You get to be on TV more, too, when you're the race leader. You ever notice that, Ricky?
I mean, that's usually how it goes. Draw your own conclusion from that, but that's usually how it goes. Caleb Lingle's still trying a few different things. Nothing just yet, though. You definitely see that 113 is kicking out that rear end coming into turn number 1.
Steve Rubino, Harry Kodian battling for position here. Kodian starting to pull away a little bit from that 07 Ford of Rubino. Saw a little bit of
Rick Castle to the inside of the 41, and Josh Boyer side by side with him coming into turn number 3 here. We'll see if Castle gets the advantage on Boyer. Looks like he will, and leapfrog that 41 machine, crack his way into the top 10. Rod Weston slow coming down to pit road.
We talked about it, a couple weeks ago at California. Josh Boyer, after that Daytona win, they seemed off on speed. Tonight, I think a little bit better. I know it's not where they want to be with that 41.
28, Keith McLean got stuck up behind the 5. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe, but that got a little bit dicey there for a second.
See Caleb Lingle able to close the gap a little bit there to Keith. Lingle, though, also decided to get right behind that 5 car on entry to 1. Don't know if that ended up hurting him a little bit there, Ricky.
I don't think it did, but I also don't think Lingle was trying to put the pressure too hard on Keith. I think he was trying to give him some breathing room there so he can navigate lap traffic.
That's not going to be the case with 20 or 10 laps to go, right?
Oh no, not of course. Especially since we're past halfway in this event, 53 of 90 laps right now on the board. And now 113 Lingle getting a good run on McLean coming through turn 3 there. They're going to be coming up on another lap car here in a moment, Joe. The 10 of Randy Smith. Right now through the fields, kind of single file the whole show through. But these two leaders starting to really get close together.
Andy Smith not had the night that this 10 team was looking for. Another one of our race winners this year. Won at Auto Club, and a couple weeks ago to start this West Coast swing here at the start of the season.
Keith McLean still hanging on to this lead. We see it's gotten much smaller. About 0.25 seconds is what the 113 Lingle is right now behind that 28 car Keith McLean. Now, Joe, do you think these guys are going to have to pit one more time before the end of this?
Yes. I would think so.
Would you be willing to say that under oath in front of a grand jury?
Well, since it's an opinion, I'm not worried about lying, so I don't know why it has to be in front of a jury. I would say yes, just because we're seeing not crazy fall off, but decent enough, I feel like. I mean, what did the 28 run that last time by?
28 ran a 26.624, which is about 6/10 off of his fastest, which is a 26 flat.
Yeah.
Caleb Lingle, same story right behind him, 26.7.
So a decent amount of fall off here.
Pretty decent amount of fall off, yeah.
Last pit around lap 30. Of course, had a couple cautions in between then and now. But
things get a little bit of a logjam in the back. Those guys getting around the 5 of Peacher. A lot of guys kind of got stacked up there. We got a big mess by 59 and Duke Sorensen and Wiley King at 112 Rayleighs. They all kind of got sorted out, but they all kind of piled in on each other in turn 3 there a lap ago.
Booggate's another one of those drivers that's lost a lot of positions here in this race. And that 9 team, they started all the way up there in the 3rd spot. Ooh, Harry Kodian, big moment there off of turn 4. Steve Rubino got to get to the inside. Rubino going to be able to take the 6th position. Opportunistic move there from driver 07.
Ethan McLean's been able to gap Caleb Lingle a little bit by about 0.2 of a second. The 28 car is starting to come back. I feel like we talk about this a lot, Joe. I feel like we always have this discussion when it comes to Keith, that he has a car that isn't the best early on, but you give him that long run and the car kind of starts to falter, and then all of a sudden gets a second wind, and he finds a ton of speed with it.
It's almost like he's managing his stuff, right?
Yes. Almost.
Almost.
Herman Reese, the inside the 11 car, that's going to be for position there. Reese up to the 4th spot.
Steve Grant falls back to 5th. Now 11 car got to come down pit lane.
That is the first car of the leaders to come down pit lane, so we'll see if this pulls anyone else down. You got to think that 11 of Grant coming down early like this is going to aid him by short pitting. Fugate from 19th position, also coming down pit road here. And Randy Smith, 23rd spot, coming down.
Kind of watch how that 11 car cycles through if he's able to get back by Herman Reese.
13 of Harry Kodian coming down from the 7th spot.
Able to get back by Herman Reese by virtue of having the new tires for a couple of laps. Also got to hope that one of those dastardly wrong bad flags doesn't come out.
Well, Joe, I don't think he's going to unlap himself just out there if the leaders stay out there for a bit, just because it's a short enough track
Right, but he'll be able to...
they can get a lot of space on him.
He'll be able to gain some time, though.
Yeah, decreasing that time differential between him and the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing any whispers yet from these leaders about when they're going to be coming down. So the moment Keith McLean's still leading the 113 of Caleb Lingle in that 2nd spot. Gotta keep our eyes to pit lane here and see if anyone else makes that hard left-hander. Nobody else deciding on it yet, Joe.
Sometimes you just gotta do something different, right?
Duke Sorensen in the 11th spot coming down. Steve Grant going to probably need a lap to get back up to speed here, or you can get an actual assessment. 925 coming on, the 112 coming off, the 4 coming off, so a lot of guys further back. Oh, here's an interesting one. Jeff Sekenis from 3rd spot comes down. Here comes the 07 to Steve Rubino. That's from 6th spot. This might start to force these leaders' hands, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, once your 3rd place car just came down, right? Caleb Lingle now from 2nd, going to come down the pit lane. Really aggressive getting to the pit commitment line. You Steve Rubino, you said Sekenis down there as well. So now we kind of turn our attention to Keith McLean in this 28 car. See when he elects to come down the pit lane.
Could be interesting to watch where everyone falls into place here. Steve Grant had a few good laps out there by himself, but the problem is, too, he was navigating traffic some. Looks like he is ahead of the 31 of Jess Sekenis, so I think that is at least a net gain of 1 spot for Steve Grant.
Oh, yeah, 2 spots. He was running 5th. If things
but
cycle...
now he's stuck behind the 124. Rick Castle, who is on old tires, has not pitted yet. 28, yeah, it's down on pit road right now. Ryan Johnson's also down. 72 machines down. I think that should be the remainder of the cars that have not pitted, Joe. Actually, I might be wrong. Ken Hansen, the 94, I think, is still out there on old tires.
You see that 94? 73 still out there, or is he down?
Nope, 73's been down, I think.
Hansen gonna come this time.
Oh,
Almost a moment there with Keith
right in front of
McLean.
28 Keith McLean. That might have scared Keith awake a little bit.
Scared the Dickens out of him.
The Dickens. And Joe, look at that. Caleb Lingle has shuffled himself ahead of the 28 car, Keith McLean. Keith now going to have to be on the offensive. Lingle now going to have to play defensive. Steve Grant has got a great gain of positions here. Going to be running third when this all shuffles out, I think.
And now with the cycle, you know, at its end.
There are a few guys still tactically out there, I think. I'm not sure who the leader was, the 94 Hansen, which we discussed, but there is the 25 Ron Simpson is running in second right now. He's going to pass Hansen, who's coming off pit road right now. Oh.
So, I mean, as long as those guys are back on the lead lap, right? That's what you're worried. You don't want to get trapped a lap down is the big thing, because then that's just a big net loss of track position, net loss of tires, because you'd most likely have to stay out, get a wave around to get back on the lead lap. So, my point being, you know, if you're Steve Grant, you're feeling pretty good. If you're Caleb Lingle, you're feeling pretty good. These guys that were able to take advantage of short pitting, take advantage of the new tires, get some track position that they otherwise weren't looking like they were going to be able to have here. If caution comes out now late in this race, you're maybe not as worried coming to pit lane. Or maybe you don't pit at all because tires, what did we say, 0.6 of a second was about what they're worth, but track position, so important here tonight too.
Well, Joe, you got to think about it this way. Ron Simpson's out there. We got about 16 laps to go right now. And he's about 10 seconds ahead of Caleb Lingle. And there's a lot of traffic in between the 113 of Lingle and the 25 machine of Simpson. So I don't know if he can make it, but I mean, I guess it's a spirited try.
If you're not going to win the race, you got doing what you're doing. You got to try something different, right?
I think so, and he's going to try to give these guys some room. Obviously, you can't really give it all away because he doesn't want to. The biggest benefit for him is to have as many lap cars between him and the 113 as possible.
But you also, on the same side of the coin, if you try to stay in front of those guys.
Yeah, you don't want to get eaten up by them if you're just trying to bide your time here. Here comes Ron Simpson, 25 car coming down pit road. So that will throw the race back into the hands of Caleb Lingle, who's coming off of turn 4 right now. So Lingle now leading this race. 15 laps to go, 14 laps to go, just cross the line. Herman Reese in second, about 0.9 of a second back. Joe, do you think, not Herman Reese, I am sorry, Keith McLean in second, 0.9 of a second back. Joe, do you think Keith closes up this gap?
He's got the car. He showed that earlier. Unless Lingle was kind of holding back, which I might start thinking that a little bit here. Really, the battle's on for what is the third position. Stakenis has been able to close the gap to Steve Grant. Herman Reese has closed the gap to Jeff Stakenis. So, battle for that final podium spot heating up here with just over 10 laps to go. A lot of folks tuning in here for the end of this one. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN's coverage of the HOBO Racing Cup Series. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing those things helps support us so much here on JTN. If you click the bell icon, you'll also be kept up to date with all things that we got going on here. We're going to be live next Thursday night from the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, so the classic, with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, Gen 6 Cup Series action there. From Atlanta, so don't miss out on that one Thursday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, and much more, of course, going to be live right here on JTN. Pretty much, I think we got all of our links up through the end of the month, so you can go to those and maybe pick and choose some. You can click a bell on those to be notified when those streams go live. A lot of great ways to help and stay up to date with us here on JTN, as you see Jeff Stakenis making the pass for third.
And Joe, the lead has evaporated. Caleb Lingle has been stuck behind the 72 machine for the last few laps here, Jim Cloud, and it looks like it is let the 28 of Keith McLean get right to him. 28 is right in the back bumper of the 113 as they come down the front straightaway here for 10 laps to go.
10 to go, 10 miles left. Keith McLean has dominated this race. A pit call by the 113 of Caleb Lingle got that forward the lead, and now McLean has closed the gap and is hot on the tail as we got 3 Fords battling for position on the speedway here.
Oh, Lingle had to check up. This is not what these leaders want. The 72 is, sideways in front of the leads. 113 gets into him. 28 and Keith McLean is around.
Got to race back to the line here with under 10 laps to go. You
72
saw...
was blown up as well, Joe. I don't know if that was unrelated, but the 72 blew up as well.
A moment that has shifted the dynamic of this race once again in its closing stages. You saw it live, you see it again here on replay. Loud just trying to stay on the lead lap, clips the apron a little bit. Lingle gets to the back of the 72. Keith McLean goes around for a spin. And like you said, that 72 blew up there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was from damage or if he money shifted.
Money shifted.
I'm not sure, but yeah, what a wild lap there. And I mean, I guess we should assess the the elephant in the room on that. Keith McLean not pitting, by the way, so I don't know if Keith is throwing a Hail Mary on this, but we'll have to see what that 28 car is doing. To throw the elephant in the room on this, I keep almost saying 27, excuse me. The 72 was not a lap down yet.
Yes.
He was the next car to go a lap down to those leaders, which if a caution happened, he would have gotten his lap back. So really, he was in his right. He had the right of, I guess, in a racing sense, he had the right of way to be trying to defend his position because he was trying to not go a lap down. I don't know, but the car definitely did not seem like it was handling well, and this is definitely not a track that you want to be holding someone up when your car's already sideways.
So Jessica Candice wins the race off pit road. Herman Reese, Harry Codian, they all get out in front of Caleb Lingle in the 113. I believe that there was 2 tire calls on those 3 cars.
Joe, there's a few guys out here that I don't know if they're going to even come down for tires again. Keith McLean went for a whole spin there, and he's so confident in his car right now that he's going to try to stay out and see if they can survive this. This is definitely a whale to Hail Mary by the 28 team. McLean, he's really got to hope he didn't flat spot those tires, but even then he went for a bit of a slide that's definitely going to burn out those tires. Rick Castle staying out, Matthew Stern staying out, 925 Wiley King. I think the first car to come down of that group was a 31 of Kennis. Joe, you having fun?
I am. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now, if I'm being honest.
Dan Rubino in chat agreeing to the point that he should have moved, so I think that one will be a good one for discussion.
Yeah, I think that's just that's one of the moments where you're going to learn from it if you're the 72, probably. But again, on the same side, you know, a caution comes out, and you being on the lead lap and you being a lap down, that's a difference. It's a pretty big difference here at this track with how important track position is. And
that's what I'm getting at. Is that I mean, it's the intent of not rolling over for the leaders is understandable. I think it's just where you what hill you want to die on beyond that. That is probably the point of question. But right now, I don't even think Keith really cares because right now he is just throwing this.
He's got the
he
lead.
just wants to get to the end of this race.
He's only got to make it 5 laps.
Keith McLean going to be leading to come back. You know that he has those blinders on, so he's going to be trying to hold off Rick Castle and Matthew Stern and Wiley King, who are all on less flat-spotted tires than him, presumably. And then the 31 is Kennis, who was on 2 tires. Herman Reese on 2 tires. Harry Cody on 2 tires. And the 113 of Caleb Lingle on 4 tires. It's going to be a fun one. Take us back, Joe.
Keith McLean with control. No tires behind him. 3 cars, and then it's 2 cars. And then it's cars with 2. Green flag. We're back underway here. 5 laps to go from Phoenix.
Castle got a really good run there into turn number 2, but kind of changes entry up on the 28 there. We'll see if that works out for him. Jeff Stekenis already up by Wiley King. Wiley King gets a 73. Herman Reese, they both clear the outside wall. Oh, big wreck here. This is going to be to the end of the race.
Wiley King
Here
goes...
comes Castle. Is he going to be able to make it? I don't think he's got the grip, Joe. It's going to be Keith McLean.
Well, Ricky, that's why you stay out on old tires.
That, I guess, is why you stay out on old tires.
I'd like to remind folks that there's probably a lot of folks in this incident that are not happy with how this goes down, but oh man, there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot that we got to
There's a lot to dissect.
Re-evaluate there, Joe.
Here we go. Wiley King gets in the wall there off of turn number 2. Gets in the 73 and 925. They're just along for the ride at this point. Watch the 73 and the 24. Look at this.
I don't think Wiley King. I don't think that was really anyone's fault. I think they're all going to be frustrated that a big wreck like that happened. A lot of flips there. A lot of cars got collected on that. Oh goodness. Herman Reese really went for a ride.
The 24 Mopar kind of collected up in that as well. The way these cars, Steve Rubino nowhere to go in the 07.
But I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be. I think everyone's gonna be frustrated. I don't think there's anyone really at fault there. King was giving it all he had there on old tires and just barely clipped that wall, like barely clipped it, and then just barely got the 73. And you could see they were both trying to keep it to that outside wall to let them race, and it was just physics would not have it.
And the big problem with this incident is the way that wall is there down the back, right? Like that's kind of.
Well, Joe, we also talked about the differences between this Phoenix and New Phoenix, and you could have an argument about what is better and not better about both tracks. But I think we can all come to the agreement that it probably made sense to get rid of that road course entry that they used to have in the wall there.
Let's go on board. HOBO Racing on board with Steve Rubino. And next we're going to go on board with Rod Weston, who's going to get a good view with the mellow yellow on board at this whole thing developing out the windshield. Look at this, going under 2 cars. My goodness. I don't know if there's any other way to kind of call this incident, because we knew it was going to happen, right? Like, something bad's about to happen type of vibes. Well, Ricky, what do you got to say for yourself?
What a race.
Get to talk with our top 3 finishers here after white flag displayed with the yellow. 1 lap to go here. Keith McLean, your race leader and winner, after staying out there after being involved in a spin. Rick Castle going to take home the 2nd place position, and Matt Stern brings home 3rd. We'll get to talk with those 3 drivers here after the race. Make sure you stick around, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. Click the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. Again, doing all those things does really help support us so much here on JTN. Again, hoping everyone, wishing everyone a very, very happy new week.
I thought you were about to say Happy New Year, and I forgot what we were doing for a second.
Happy New Year! It's a new year every day, right?
That's a blow. That's a party blower, guys.
It's a new year every day. Ricky, it's a new year every day. Technically, each and every one of your days is worth 365 different years, depending on your start and stop. Point is, Keith McLean got to get his 2nd victory in a row here from Phoenix. Rolled the dice last week in Phoenix. Rolls the dice here this week. in Phoenix, last week in Vegas. My goodness. Gets it done here this evening. Keith McLean, your race winner. He'll bring it around, celebrate for the fans. Again, can't thank you folks enough for tuning in to J10 tonight. Remember, we're live next week with the Maverick Cup Series here on Tuesdays. Hope you tune in for that one at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're also going to be live.
I think we're going to have some interesting interviews here. I don't think Keith's definitely going to be a fun one, but I don't know if Rick Castle and Matt Stern here we're anticipating just a seas parting there, like strategy-wise, to crack a great finish tonight for that 4 and then 12014.
Keith McLean brings it around. He'll burn it down for the fans here in Phoenix. All right. Move on to our post-race coverage. Get your results on your screens momentarily. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Make sure, if you haven't already, you drop a like on the video and subscribe. Results incoming. But first, a word from our friends with Auto Sim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear, because AutoSim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim 2's Sim Mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in Owner Mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. And again, folks, AutoSim 2 now available on Steam. Go check it out. That's AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. You big AutoSim 2 fan, Ricky?
I am, Joe.
All right. You were one of the pioneers there in AutoSim 2. You remember that?
I don't know if I would say that, but I got to use it when it was like not old.
It was in its infancy.
When it was old, I mean.
All right. Get folks, results incoming. We're waiting. Our top 3 finishers getting ready to make their way to the media center. Let's go ahead and start first with our 3rd place finisher. He's the driver of the number 4, Matt Stern. Matt, you got a copy?
Sure do, sir.
All right, buddy. I mean, take us through this race tonight. Wild, crazy, cautions, and then a long green flag run, green flag pit stops, and then a strategy call there at the end for you and this 4 team. What went into that?
Well, before that, I was pacing myself, kind of running it out and see how long I can go, and I went as long as I could, and then had that pit stop, that green flag pit stop, and came out and fought back, and that caution came out. I looked at my tires, and I was like, there's plenty of green still left on them. I'm going to stay out. And that's what I did.
When we had one of those up and down races here tonight. Some green flag, like we said, the green flag run, a couple of little like 1-lap dashes there throughout this race. Does that kind of help you, make that decision to stay out there with tires, knowing that hey, it's might not be the most likely thing to run these final 5 laps under green?
Well, yeah, when we had some cautions and we stayed out, and then got going again, of course the green flag comes out, and you have a few laps on the tires. It kind of made it to where, staying out with what wear and tear I had on the tires, I knew I was able to get going without spinning my tires. And that actually helped.
When you look back at tonight, obviously it's a good run here where, we finished up the West Coast swing at Phoenix with this 3rd race of that swing, 4th race of the year. How do you feel like this is going to set you up for the rest of this Cup Series season?
It's a long season. I don't know. I can't really answer that one. It's a long season, so I really don't know.
Well, Matt, again, congratulations on the third place run here tonight. Can't thank you enough for your time. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. A lot of great partners with you on this Ford car. The floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Hobo for putting on a great race, Keith for sponsoring the race with the broadcast, you JTN for putting on a great show here on what you guys do. I just had a lot of fun, so thank you.
Matt, as always, can't thank you enough for your time. Congratulations on the third place run. Good luck here in Hobo. Good luck over there on Thursday nights. And we hope to talk with you soon.
All right, thank you.
Matt Stern, driver the number 4, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our race winner. He's the driver of the number 28. He's down there in victory lane. He leads 75 and 90 laps. He wins the pole. He stays out on old tires. He does it all. Driver the number 28, Mac Daddy, Keith McLean. Keith, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All
Two
right.
weeks in a row staying out.
I was going to say, what's it like to roll the dice twice and actually win?
Well, I really didn't have a choice, after I spun there. Come up on the lap car, and it was all chaos.
Is there... I'm going to ask an obvious... I think I'm going to ask a question that has an obvious answer. There's some frustration there, right, with that, or is there an understanding of what's happening there?
I think the person most frustrated was Caleb because he had a 2.5-second lead, and I ran him down. He was the most frustrated, but then, Jim was doing everything he was supposed to do. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. He didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He's just racing.
Well, and just racing tonight. Again, 75 and 90 laps led, but you're put in a position where you have to make that strategy call there at the end. Is it truly that you had no other option to stay out, or did you have a feeling that we wouldn't necessarily be running all 5 of those laps there under green?
Well, after I spun, I think I was like 5th. So I'm sitting there thinking, there's 5 laps, 6 laps, something like that. And I'm like, if I pit, the best I'm going to be, because somebody's going to take 2 tires. There's going to be people staying out. I'm going to be like 10th or 12th. I said, I'm going to just stay out because if anybody else stays out, they were probably behind me anyway because we had such a huge lead. And it just worked out. Again.
Works out again. 2 wins in a row here to start the year. Always helps too when you're sponsoring the event to pull that car in victory lane. Congratulations on a second straight win, Keith. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. You got a lot of great family, friends, partners with this 28 car. The floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
I'm going to shout out to Mr. Steve Urbino, who runs the show over here, does a wonderful job with this league. All the great admins over here. Shout out to y'all boys. Y'all do a good job on the broadcast. I would like to say sorry for my last interview there last Thursday night. And I went back and listened to it, and I was like, oh, my goodness. But anyway, Evan was leading. I don't know if y'all noticed tonight. Evan Williams is leading 100 proof, and the Jesus car was chasing him all night long. You didn't notice that?
I didn't notice it. I don't know if I can make a comment on it.
That's no comment. Me and Caleb, I was joking with Caleb about it too. Caleb, he ran a great race. He's sitting there and following me all night. He made a great choice there and pitted a lap early and beat me out the pits. I don't know how, but he did it because he's a really great racer. And I'm sorry that he got held up there, but I'm glad I got called up to him. Made the right choice and won the race. Let's go.
Well, Keith, again, congratulations on the win. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one. Can't thank you enough for all of your interviews. They're always great, buddy. And good luck here in the HOBO Racing Cup Series throughout the rest of the season. We hope to be talking with you later on this year over here on Tuesday nights, and we look forward to talking with you on Thursday nights here as well.
Oh, yeah. And one more shout-out. Matt Stern. Great run. Great run. And Rick Castle, too. Rick's my buddy from another league. And Matt, we've all raced together for all these years, but they did both of them great jobs. So, night, boys.
Thanks, Keith. Keith McLean, driver number 28, race winner here tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in our second place finisher. He's the driver number 124 Chevrolet here tonight. Rick Castle. Rick, you got a copy?
Yes, I got you.
All right, second place run. You're coming to the line there. Caution comes out. Do you think you could have got around that 28 car?
Hey, I'll tell you, I was giving it all I can because I really thought he was. I was talking to him about. I thought he was going to just keep on sliding up because I saw that he was real tight in the corner there. But I had a feeling it was going to be the end of the race, so I just gave it all I could there, but just not quite enough. He's a hell of a driver, Keith is.
I was going to say, I mean, you started all the way back in 19th, but rallied up through the field throughout this race on a track that's as difficult to pass like Phoenix. What made you so successful at doing so tonight?
Well, I think a lot of practice last night helped with my teammates. Mentioning Caleb there, thanks to him for working with us on practice last night, and definitely really helped. Had a great set.
Obviously, the big thing is this strategy call there at the end. What what kind of went into that? What was the process between the ears for you and this 124 team to stay out there at the end, keep the old tires, and end up rallying up there and getting a podium finish?
Well, yeah, I looked at the amount of laps left, and at first I was going to go in for 2, and I thought, well, there's others doing the same thing. It's not going to help me much, and I probably only pitted about maybe about 6 laps before that. So, and I was driving hard, but the tires were still looking pretty good. And I said, I'm going to roll the dice and just get out front here. And, hopefully it'll work and possibly even get that caution. But I actually would have loved to race Keith a little bit because I might have had something for him.
Well, Rick, nonetheless, a great run for you and this team here tonight. Second place finish. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. You got a lot of great partners on that really good-looking number 124 Camaro, and I'm not even a Jeff Gordon fan, but a really good-looking car. The floor is yours.
A Jeff Gordon paint scheme there, yeah. The DuPont 124. Yeah, it's I like driving that car. I like the color on it and everything. But shout out to my teammates. That helped me get through this race tonight. Great set. And, thanks to you guys for putting on the show here. Appreciate that, too. And to Keith for, sponsoring.
Well, Rick, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us after this one. Again, congratulations on the podium run. Second place finish here tonight. Good.
Thank you very much.
Rick Castle, driver the number 124, your second place finisher here tonight from Phoenix. Well, Ricky, that's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Diamond in the Desert. Any concluding thoughts from you?
What a race. I said it was good. We said at the top of the show it was going to be one of those classic Phoenix barn burners, and man, what a race it was.
What a race indeed, and folks, we got more of them coming up later on this year, but until then, we'll be live every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time with the Maverick Cup Series right here on JTN. We're also live every Thursday with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. We got Fast Renegade Cup Series action sporadically on Sundays. We got Mondays coming up here with the TMP Racing League for their championship finales at the start of April. Just a lot of great racing action going to be coming your way here on JTN. You're not going to want to navigate away. You're going to want to keep it right here to us on the JoeTow Network. Best sim racing on the web. It's all right here on JTN. Remember to keep up to date, click the subscribe button, click likes on the video. You can follow us at JoeTow Network on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We make race day posts as well as posting some shorts or TikToks or those little short form videos that you see everywhere nowadays. So go check those out as well. Another great way to help support us is to click like on those as always, or any of our videos really, or any of our posts. It's always a big help. We can't thank you enough for that support. Big thank you has to go out to Steve Rubino, Dan Rubino, all the admins, all the entire team here at HOBO Racing. They put on a great show. So hospitable, and it's always our pleasure to come out and broadcast these races. Of course, HOBO, one of our original 3 leagues we've been working with since we started here on JTN, so as always, a big thanks to Steve and his entire team for all they do, and can't thank them enough. Can't thank Keith McLean enough for his sponsorship of this race tonight. And, well, folks, I think that's about all I have left here on my sheet. So with all that being said, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for Ricky Collette, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill in through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the line and a wrecking behind him. The cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in a 3-car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Sinner and Bordeaux for
Oh, the contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy wins the ride to